Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Dia and I appreciate you stopping by. So today's video is going to be a January flip through of my Sterling Ink Common Planner. I have now been in this planner for a month and I am loving it. It's a new planner, so of course there are changes that are going to be made to it, like a stronger cover. And it being a new planner to me too, it's taken a little bit of trial and error to figure out how I want to use this planner and how to make it perform best for me. So I just wanted to share with you guys before I flip the camera around a few struggles that I've had. And one of them is this cover. And the linen cover, I believe, was a little bit flimsier than the leatherette cover. And I still wouldn't change it. I love this linen texture right here, so even if I knew it was a little bit flimsier, I would have still chosen it anyway because I think it's gorgeous. But I do have a VDS coming in the mail probably Monday. I am so excited. I've been waiting over a month for it. And I realized that I'm not going to be able to slide this into the cover with my clear cover over it. So I was trying to find ways to go ahead and reinforce this cover so that it doesn't get all bent up or ruined when I get my VDS. So I recently decided to dig through some of my old planners, mainly my Hobonichi planners, because on my Instagram I'm doing a Throwback Thursday and I'm gonna go through some of my old spreads, which, warning, if you do this yourself, it is dangerous because I picked up my first Hobonichi. It was a Hobonichi Avec and it was halfway through the year in 2019. So this starts July 2019. And I started flipping through it and I started to miss it so much and had that temptation to go back to it. But again, this size is just so much more portable for me and I don't get as lost in the daily pages on this one. And anyway, off track. If you're familiar with Hobonichi, you know that they have, I'm sorry, but the covers are not pretty at all. But they're very easy to cover. So I covered mine with these two postcards that I had received from James Burke, I think, several years ago. So I went ahead and just put these on here and then taped them on, and it made the cover even more sturdy. So I thought, why don't I go ahead and try and do that to this? So I printed up one of my favorite little Mickey Mouse scenes here and attempted to tape it on the same way that I taped this one on. All I did was kind of glued them to the cover and then I covered it in masking tape. So I tried to do this, but I guess I didn't think it through very well. One, I'm only covering the front and I didn't like how the white looked against the black. And two, because this is a gorgeous linen cover, the tape would not stick to it the way it sticks to this one. On this one, I have it coming to like the edge here, and then I finished it off in washi tape and then put a little bit of the masking tape to wrap around the edge to kind of keep it on there. And you can't do that with this one because of the material it is. So that backfired on me. I had to pull this off and I was hoping it would make it a little more sturdy so that when my VDS comes, I can just slide this into the cover and keep the front cover not tucked in. Yeah, that's the little, that is a loud airplane. Let's wait for it to pass. Thank you. So that is the dilemma that I'm having with my cover right now. The only other little issue that I'm having is that I find the weekly layouts to be a little bit narrow. And going through my Hobonichi Cousin, which obviously it's an A5, so it's bigger, I just feel like my writing is so much neater in this than it is in here. And I think a lot of that has to do with the width, but I realized that in here, I was using my Kakuno Extra Fine. Right now, I'm currently using a Platinum Preppy Fine. So I think I have decided to go ahead and go back down to Extra Fine to see if maybe I can, it's just easier when you're using an extra fine pen to get detailed with your letters when they're so tiny, because my letters are pretty small. I don't write big at all. I'm gonna go ahead for next week and switch out my pen and see how I like an extra fine in here instead of a fine. I mean, I'm glad I went back through my old Hobonichi because I got some ideas from it. One of them being, I used to write anything to do with my daughter in pink, and I love the little pop of color. When I go back and look in here, she went off to college, so I really didn't have anything of hers to put in the calendar anymore, but now she's back home, so sometimes we go out together, and when I write it in, I would love to write it in pink. And I also keep track of any special occasions she has where she's going to be out of the house all day or appointments or whatever, so I can put those in pink too. So yeah, it can be really dangerous flipping through old planners because it's so pretty. I miss it. You know what? I miss all the space, but only in the weekly layout. Only in the weekly layout. If you see my reels that I posted to Instagram of my first Throwback Thursday for the entire month of July, I pretty much that's all the space that I used in this planner. So, okay, well, we didn't come here for the Hobonichi planner, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip the camera around and show you guys how I used the Sterling Ink Common Planner for January. Okay, before I go ahead and open this up, I just wanted to show you, if you haven't seen it, the texture on this cover. I think you can see it right here, yeah. So that's what kept me from going ahead and putting a cover on this like I did onto my Hobonichi. First, we'll go ahead and flip to my trackers. And these aren't all my trackers. This is just my Miracle Morning tracker, and I just wanted to show you guys how I keep that in here. I have my savers at the top, and then I just check off each day that I accomplish each task. And I'm very proud of myself because I did everything every single day in January. And at the bottom, I just go ahead and put my monthly subscribers for Instagram. I have a weekly view that I keep somewhere else, but I like to see the monthly view as well. And this just kind of gives me a big picture. My monthly pages were pretty boring this month. I didn't have much going on. I just stuck this Sterling ink sticker on the side here, which I did crooked. And then I made these monthly stickers and I went ahead and stuck that in there. But other than that, not much going on. I don't always use whiteout in here. Like right here, I just went ahead and crossed out dogs groomed because it got rescheduled. And yeah, I don't mind just crossing things out, especially so I can see when something was supposed to happen. And I keep these 3 tabs on the side here, and I put my weekly and daily tabs at the top because those are the 2 that I go to all day long. So I wanted them separate, and that's why I have my weekly tab at the top. And these are from Midori. I forget what they're called exactly, but I'll go ahead and link them down below. And really quick, a tip before I start going into the weekly spreads, I just wanted to show you a trick that I do. I don't know if everybody knows this, but I thought I would share it just in case. So when you have a notebook as thick as this one, a lot of times when you're writing at the beginning, you have this little hump here and it's hard to write on this page. Same thing when you're at the end. So what I do is grab a planner that's about the same size and I go ahead and just slide it under the cover like that. And then it just gives me a nice flat surface to write on. January started on a Sunday, so it got included in here. I just thought I would share it with you so you guys can see how this sidebar has changed a bit. Everything else is the same. This is where I do my kind of memory keeping planning. It's where I enter what I have been doing. I'm usually writing in here every half hour to hour, and I don't do any pre-planning in the weekly layout. Unless I know I'm going to be gone for a block of time, I'll kind of pencil it in and then I'll go back in and fill it with pen later. In this planner, which is my Wonderland 222, this is where I do my pre-planning. It's very basic and it just, of course, things change sometimes, so I'll have to cross them off, but this is where I kind of do my pre-planning in my weekly pages. Back to this one. Let's go ahead and go to the actual first week of January. Over here, I never know what to do with this sidebar, which is why honestly, I would rather have these be wider and stack the weekend and then have just more space to write. But I'm working with it. I know a lot of people really enjoy the sidebar and they don't like having stacked weekends, so I am making the adjustment. It's okay with me. Over here, I decided to do self-care and just put a couple things in here that I was aiming to do, things to focus on for the week, and then my dinners at the bottom. Same thing here, but I did purchase some Zig dot markers because I was tired of my dots being inconsistent with my Tombow dual brush pens. So I thought I would give them a try, and I love the colors of them, but it was a little bit too light for me and I made the dots too big. So I just stopped. And then it was my birthday week this week, so that was my focus. The next week, I just decided to go ahead and do check marks instead of dots because I was getting too frustrated. I highlighted over this with the Zig dot marker and it smeared it and it made the words look dull. My Tombow doesn't do that. So I ended up just putting those away for now. I'm sure I'll use them for something else in the future, or I'll give them away. But yeah, this is where I kind of decided to stop using them because I don't know why they made it smear like that. This is waterproof ink. Okay, and then we have week 4, and this is when I changed up the sidebar because I've been going through some of my old planners. I saw how I had this in one of my Hobonichi sidebars and I really, really love it. So I wanted to give it a try again. In week 5, I've decided to continue doing the same thing, and of course, January ended in the middle of this weekly spread, so I haven't finished it yet. Let's head on over to the daily pages. I went ahead and tipped in this monthly calendar from Sterling Ink. Next time I'm going to stick it down, but I didn't print it up until after I had already started in here, so I had to tip it in. This changed up a little at the beginning of the month. At first, I was going to keep track of everyone's schedule here, but I decided to go ahead and keep track of my family's schedule and my schedule in my Wonderland, like I showed you a few minutes ago. So this is the only day that I have a timeline in here. I have the date, a positive quote at the top, or a quote from a book that I've been reading. And then I had my to-do list and a little bit of journaling I wanted to do right here. And then I have all of my meals right here. Then it changed again, and this is pretty much the way it has stayed now. I have the same things at the top: today, meals. So my to-do list now is on this left-hand side, and this entire right-hand side is for notes and journaling. When I have time, I like to try and do a little bit of doodling, but that doesn't happen very often. I have a Sterling Ink sticker in here. I've talked about this on my Instagram, and I think I might have talked about it in a video here, but when I tried to add pictures in here from my Canon Ivy, I didn't like the way it turned out. It kind of makes my page bow like this, so I don't know, it makes the page kind of weird. And not only that, I just don't love the quality of the Canon Ivy, so I really don't care for how this picture looks. So when I wanted to print up another picture, I just went ahead and did it on regular paper and taped it in here, and it's a lot better because it doesn't add weird bulk to my page. This is where I started adding a line right here on the left too. I think I got that from Coffee Monster Co. I'm not sure. I saw it on somebody's planner and I just liked the way it looked. This is where I tested my Zig dot markers, and then I decided to start using up some of my Coffee Monster Co. stickers because I've had some that have just been sitting there for way too long now. It's been nice doing journaling. Sometimes I'll do it throughout the day, sometimes I'll wait till the next day to fill it in. I did a little bit of doodling here, and then I remembered that I had these, and oh my gosh, I cannot remember who these are. I need to look it up because they are too adorable and I don't want to not be able to tell you. Okay, I didn't want to not be able to tell you who these are from because I absolutely love them. These are from Square Lime Designs, and I downloaded them and print them on a matte clear sticker paper and cut them myself with my Silhouette. I just put things that we do throughout the day. Went to bed early this day, watching Dance Moms with my daughter. I love these little McDonald's ones from Coffee Monster Co. That's like my special treat, McDonald's. When I've had a long day of working, especially if I'm out shooting, I like to have a Happy Meal and a glass of wine when I get home. I don't know where I got these stickers from. I got them so many years ago. And this sticker I got from Wonderland 222. She has some stickers on her website, so I bought a few of those. A little more doodling. And that's it. And yeah, I obviously have not done any journaling yet for the last day of January. But when I fall behind like that, what I'll do is I will just go back and look at my weekly pages and see what I did from that day and write in anything that stands out for me. I might as well show you guys my trackers too, how they came out. Oh, and this. So in December, I did this little monthly wrap-up page where I printed out some pictures from the month and then anything that kind of stood out. And I want to do that for every month. I just have not done it for January yet. So if you want to see what that's going to look like, you can follow me on Instagram and I'm sure I will probably post it there. Here are my trackers. I am not loving them. They just look sloppy to me. I think I'm gonna end up putting my trackers in my Pocket Moterm because I've moved back into that as a wallet. So I'll show you guys that if I set it up. This is my workouts. So I just put R for run, W for walk, CT for core training, ST for strength training, and I'll have H on here for hikes or ellip for elliptical. It's kind of obvious. And I did work out every day this month. I'm trying to get 2 workouts in every day, which I've been consistent with for the last week, but I missed quite a few of those during January. I keep track of my weight here, my steps. I try to keep them over 10,000 steps every day, which really isn't too hard for me. I really make an effort to go for walks and runs and stay active because I am sitting at my desk for most of the day. And like on this day here, I had 11,000 and that was the lowest. So walking comes easy to me and I always make it a point to do it. And when I run, I get so many steps. But anyway, so alcohol did not do very well in January, but I am not drinking for the next 30 days. So that's where I just put a little line. And then over here, I have my rings closed, which it takes a lot for me to close my rings because I get over 10,000 steps and everything. But if I don't meet that, let me show you. So this is the category that I always end up falling short. My move goal is 600 calories, but if I only do 1 workout for the day, a lot of times I don't hit that goal. So my goal for February is to close my rings every day. I have my period tracker, and then this is my book tracker. I just decided to go ahead and start coloring these in with my Tombow. I read 7 books in January, so I'm a little bit ahead of schedule, which I'm very excited about. Okay, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found some useful information. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to leave a comment down below or message me privately. And if you have a second, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe. If you want to see more videos from me, make sure you hit that notification bell, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.